Hi everyone, for anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Lisa and Matt has asked me to jump on and talk about my fitness journey. I've been regularly attending ATP classes with Matt for about 3 to 4 years, but I have known Matt since he started ATP. I used to go years back. I was really sporty and I ran and I worked out through my 20s. Then in my 30s, life happens, children work, everything takes over. My weight fluctuated, my fitness declined, and then COVID happened. Like lots of people, I lost treasured people, and I am a real people person, and I sort of lost my way. Progressively, I gained more and more weight until I was at my most uncomfortable and heaviest. So this is me in 2021. A friend encouraged me to try a class at the Nest. I knew Matt from old, so I agreed. To be completely honest, I was embarrassed. I knew I didn't look like I did. I certainly was a world away from the level of fitness that Matt would have last seen me. But I went. I'm not going to lie, it was hard, physically, mentally, with the realisation that I just couldn't do some of the moves. I couldn't hold myself. I remember, though, feeling a sense of achievement. I'd gone, I'd done it, I managed a whole class. I remember walking in, everyone was really smiley, everyone was really friendly. I remember I had a sense of fun, community. And once I started the buzz of the old school tunes, so I started to go once a week regularly, then twice a week. I started to see the same friendly faces, a bit more chat, a bit more banter, and I just started to feel more comfortable. It made me feel like I was doing something for myself. I started to eat a bit better, use less snacking. I am a real foodie. I wasn't very good on diets. I don't want to eat different meals to my family. So a lot of people say to me, oh, have you got any little tips and hints? For me, I tried having my main evening meal on a side plate. If I was still hungry after I'd had my portion on a side plate, I'd go back and have some more, shepherd's pies, spag bowl, all the normal sort of family meals you'd have. And a lot of the time I was satisfied. I didn't need that extra, portion that I was having. So if I did, then I had some. And like I say, often it just came to it, actually, it was enough. I had a bit of a setback when my back went. I had a herniated bulging disc, so that it was obviously hindered by the extra weight I was carrying. That put a hold on my exercise for 3 months, but by this point I was already an ATP monthly member. Matt was keeping me sort of up to date and encouraging me to get back as soon as obviously I felt well enough and the doctors had said that was okay. So I concentrated, where I perhaps would have quitted before, I concentrated on my recovery and just looked forward to getting back on my fitness journey. I think a big part of this was, by the time this happened, I'd already met some really good friends, and I'm so grateful for them. They were also keeping in touch. That's so important, to recognise people who encourage and push you to move, run, work out, because they're helping you become the best version of yourself. I suppose a big part of me coming on is to explain that if you are at the start of your journey and you do find yourself at a class, not to be sort of intimidated by the person who might be at the front. If you see others sort of jumping about, taking the high impact option, you're working just as hard as them taking the low impact option. I can honestly say I'm flattered, and I really appreciate all the lovely comments that I've had from people at class, my friends and family who have watched me on my journey over the last 3 years. They tell me that I'm an inspiration. I mean, what a compliment. But I'd like to say that if you're at the start of your journey and you're me, as I was in 2021, you're my inspiration, because I know how hard you're working. And this is me today. This was my last current picture. I now work out probably 10 hours a week. I absolutely love it. At ATP, you'll find a complete variation of classes, from strength training to your old school tunes with your cardio and your combat. And if you've taken the opportunity to listen to this and you find yourself at an ATP class, you will probably find me at the front of the class with a big smile on my face, either jumping about like a loon or gritting my teeth, pushing myself to work a bit harder. But there's always a space beside me if you need a little extra encouragement and a hug. Have a great day.